there, it will move on to the president's desk. And joining me now with reaction are two people who will play a key role in this weekend's political drama. We have Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey and New Hampshire Senator Kelly Ayotte. Guys, welcome to the program. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Sean.
Good evening, Sean.
All right, Senator Toomey, let me start with you. Why don't we go through the procedural motions? The bill has been tabled. In other words, this is the second time that the House of Representatives, as it relates to the debt ceiling, has passed a bill, and the bill has been tabled. In other words, at least temporarily on this one, they're not even taking the bill up, correct?
Well, that's exactly right. This is more evidence, clear and really unavoidable evidence that the Senate Democrats are unwilling to even so much as have a debate about a measure that would put us on a path to a balanced budget. They are so passionately opposed, seriously, that opposed to a balanced budget, that they won't even allow us to have a debate, have the opportunity to amend it. Those are the things that would have resulted if we had been able to defeat the motion to table. It would have gone to the floor. We might have been able to make this into a really good measure, but no such opportunity with Harry Reid and the Democrats.
Well, and I have to say, I think this is part of a pattern of obstruction, because we saw it with the budget. The House did their job, passed a budget. The Senate, I'm on the Budget Committee, Sean, hasn't done its work. It's been 800 days since the Senate passed a budget. Same thing with cut, cap, and balance. They moved to table that without debate, and here tonight they did the same.
All right, so let me ask both of you this, because I can tell you that a lot of Americans are pretty aggravated tonight. And by the way, what you were just looking at there, we expect any minute now that Senator Reid, Durbin, Senator Schumer, and Murray will come into right there in that podium. As a matter of fact, looks like they may be coming out now, and as a matter of fact, here they come to the podium. There's their host of Special Report each weeknight, 6 Eastern, here on the Fox News Channel. Brett, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Sean.
Joining me now with reaction, two people who will play a very key role in this weekend's political drama. We have Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey and New Hampshire Senator Kelly Ayotte is back with us. It seemed, as I'm listening to, first, let me ask you both this. Senator Ayotte, let me start with you. When Harry Reid said we should be allowed an up and down vote, and Harry Reid, Dick Durbin, and Chuck Schumer all complaining about a filibuster, when they just got done tabling a bill without a vote, the second time they'd done it, and they haven't passed a budget in 800 days, and they won't put their plan on paper, it seems a little ironic to me.
It is really ironic, Sean, and actually it's disingenuous, because it's always a 60-vote threshold in the Senate, and they've held Republican proposals to a 60-vote threshold, and they've blocked even consideration of the only proposals that have been passed, the work has been done in the House of Representatives by the Republicans there, cut, cap, and balance, and then, of course, the proposal that passed tonight. So, this is, I think, what he's talking about is disingenuous in terms of where we are.
What's more, I would add, Sean, is that Mitch McConnell, speaking on behalf of all the Republican senators, offered Harry Reid on the floor tonight, right after the vote that they cast to kill the bill that came over from the House. He offered to have a vote immediately. There's no delay. There's no filibuster. You look at the Senate floor. There's nobody there occupying the floor. We offered to have the vote right now. Harry Reid doesn't want to have that vote right now.
We're ready to move this forward. And Republicans have been. We've had all the proposals, Sean, here.
Yeah. So then let me put some highlight on this. So, Senator Toomey, what you're basically saying is, what we just heard from Majority Leader Reid and Chuck Schumer and Dick Durbin is not accurate. But the bottom line is they can't meet the 60-vote criteria for cloture. Correct?
Absolutely. And here's why, Sean. Their bill is preposterous. It calls for the biggest debt increase in American history by a massive margin. It is full of phony baloney, make-believe spending cuts. It has a commission that's supposed to solve our problems, except there's absolutely no enforcement mechanism whatsoever. It's guaranteed to raise the debt limit massively and to do nothing at all about the underlying problems we face.
So for the people at home that have been watching all of this and have been calling in record numbers the Capitol, Senator Ayotte, let me ask you, what are we going to see unfold here? If Harry Reid doesn't have the votes for his bill, where will the first negotiations take place? They seem to want to separate, this is my impression, tell me if I'm wrong, Senator McConnell from both the House and some of the more conservative senators. Did you sense that as well? And where do we go from here?
Well, I think where we go from here is that there will be negotiations. I think one of the unfortunate parts about it is all of this has been behind closed doors, and I really think the American people deserve to have all this out in the open. But I think that the negotiations will be probably first between Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell, and then with the Speaker to see how we move forward here. And let's not forget, last Sunday it was the President who rejected apparently some kind of bipartisan agreement.
Yeah. Here's another point, Sean. Can I just say, there's one feature that was in both the first version that the House sent over and the second version, and it's been supported over the years by 20 Democratic senators, and it has the unanimous support of every Republican senator. Yeah. It's a balanced budget, and the negotiations really need to include that.
All right, so let me just be clear here. So I assume they're going to use, as Bret Baier was saying, that the Boehner bill is a shell. They're going to gut it, slice it, dice it, and liberalize it, if I could use that term. That's my own term. They're going to try and get 60 votes on this. The big question here is they need Republicans. And are they going to get enough Republican votes when they slice and dice this thing to send it back to the House, where I assume they're going to get some Republicans, but mostly Democrats?
Well, we'll have to see what it is, but I have to tell you, we have to do two things here. It's avoid default, but avoid downgrade. I mean, when we've looked at the proposals that have been on the table, there haven't been enough spending cuts, or, as Pat mentioned, the balanced budget component is so important to get our fiscal house in order.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, and we're also using baseline budgeting, which projects out at least 8% growth for as far as the eye can see. And if we don't get a hold of that growth pattern, we're going to be in trouble. But, Senators, thank you both for being so patient, and thank you for your insight. And it's going to be a long weekend, and we appreciate you being with us. And coming up, we're going to get reaction from the architect Karl Rove on all of tonight's breaking news. And we got Frank Luntz with some fascinating